So the most famous moment of Benjamin Franklin's autobiography is when he is kicked out of his apprenticeship in his hometown, and then he lights out for the fair shores of Philadelphia, arriving with only 1 copper shilling and a dream. He spends the copper shilling on 3 loaves of bread, 2 of which he gives to people who are less fortunate than he, and then, fortified only by that single loaf of bread, he builds a massive printing empire and becomes the founding father of America. Benjamin Franklin's story is the American dream of a rugged individual making his or her, but usually his way to the top via nothing but hard work and ingeniosity. Yeah, except that Benjamin Franklin didn't start from the bottom. He was from a family of wealthy printers. Aside from that famous copper shilling, he also took to Philadelphia a letter of recommendation from the governor of the colony. And he was the right class and the right gender and the right race to become Benjamin Franklin. Essentially, the Benjamin Franklin story is started in the upper middle, then I really got very near the top.
So I drive and I get here half an hour before school starts every day, just for the fun of it.
A lot of students who go to a school all the way across town have to catch 2 and 3 buses in the subway just to get to school.
This is our auditorium and theater. We have lights, standard light sound. It's not particularly high tech, but we have a nice system.
Here, go to the metal detector.
This is our new studio. It's one of 3 high schools in the county.
I think that these walls, like, they really need to be repainted because of the graffiti. As you can see here, they tried to repaint it, but it doesn't blend in. You can actually tell they just, like, really just gave up on repainting the walls. So every teacher in this school buys their own school supplies, and it's actually very sad.
That's our observatory. It's a giant dome with a telescope, and you can see the entire sky from there. If every school in the country can be like McLean, I think it's really going to increase standard of living, just going to make things a lot better.
Obviously, it's not fair. I mean, we have not even half of what they have. I mean, we're all students. Why shouldn't we receive the things that they have? I mean, we're all trying to learn. We all want to grow up to be something, so why shouldn't we receive the same advantages they have? I don't understand that.
Consider 2 children. Adam's parents can afford to send him to preschool. His father can take off work when he's sick. Adam also gets to participate in extracurricular activities. His parents can pay for a tutor for homework. And when Adam enters high school, he's prepared for challenging courses. By the time he's college age, Adam is prepared for success. Then there's Maria. Maria didn't go to preschool, and she has to juggle doing her homework and taking care of her siblings while her parents work 2 jobs. She enters high school already behind her peers, and she'll graduate far behind them. She'll be less prepared for college and a good job.
Wow. And look, this is exactly the kind of stuff we've been talking about, right? Which is that income inequality has real results. And what it does is it strips people of opportunity. And that's the most important part of it. Because it's okay if people are richer, of course. We get it. We're capitalists. We're Americans, yada, yada, right? But if the whole premise is that we all have a shot at it.
Yes. It's supposed to equalize everything.
Right. And education is a great equalizer. And if it turns out you don't have a shot at it because the odds are skewed against you, well, then we got a real problem. Why do richer kids do better on the SATs? Well, that's because they took an SAT prep class, right? You know, and they had tutors, et cetera. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And so they wind up having this huge advantage. Or they go to a private school, they get better training, more assistance outside the home. Earlier on, they do more activities, you know, intramural soccer, piano, whatever it might be. And all of those help tremendously in the development of kids. And part of the reason that poor people can't do that as well is because they got 2 jobs. They're trying to make things happen. The dad's working, the mom's working. Who's got time to drive the kids to soccer practice? Or, socioeconomically speaking, there are more poor people inside of big cities. They don't have intramural soccer to go to as they do in the suburbs, right? It's hard to take piano class. It's possible, right? But it's much, much harder.
Anyway, 42% of American men raised in the bottom 20% of incomes stay there. In the UK, that number is 30%. In Denmark, it's 25%. In fact, by almost any measure, whether you are born rich or poor in the United States is a better indicator of whether you will end up rich or poor than it is in Canada or Europe or any country in the developed world. The American dream remains uniquely American in one sense. We are far more likely than residents of other countries to believe that people are rewarded for intelligence and skill, and we're less likely to believe that coming from a wealthy family is key to getting ahead. Unfortunately, like a lot of dreams, what we're dreaming isn't real. But my worry is that systemic inequality of opportunity will prevent the most promising future innovators from getting the opportunities they need to succeed.